How come I don't see? Oh, yes, there we go. Okay. Whew, it's been 4 years. So this is all right. So let's see if this thing is showing up here. Do. There might be a little lag, delay. But this is just a test, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't really matter. How about you? Um, why is the stream not showing up? Do I have to press some button? It says live. So technically speaking, it should be live. Why? Why can't I figure this out? Like, this is the channel. Oh, wait. There's a thing that says live. Oh, and there I am. Okay, so it is live. Okay. Okay, let's make this a little more entertaining then. All right. Right now I have 0 viewers, but that's to be expected because I didn't advertise this. It's in the middle of the day. It's not way past your Berto time. And it's been 4 years. So, like, why would anyone be watching right now? Like, unless maybe if you're a subscriber, you might get an alert. And if you get an alert, you're like, oh, Berto's live. And then if you're not busy because it's Sunday, you might be like, oh, I'm chilling anyways. Why not watch? Like, why not watch, you know? Like, what does he have to say after all this time? What does he have to say for himself? So let's see. So far, I've got 1 concurrent viewer, but that might be me when I checked out whether the thing was live or not. So I'm probably talking to nothing. But this is still okay. It's very important that I do this because I've been trying to figure out how to restart making videos and making content. And it's hard because you just get in your head. You're like, oh man, what am I going to talk about? I've got nothing to talk about. And so, you know, I have a new idea. Like, I'll talk about that in a bit. But more importantly, I just needed to do it. I needed to make sure the software was working. I updated the software. I updated my Streamlabs thing. I updated my, I guess I didn't have to update YouTube. Made sure my microphone was working. I think it's working. Made sure my camera was working. Lights, you know. I put on a shirt. And, oh, there's 2 concurrent viewers. Wow, we were breaking records, all sorts of records here. So anyways, so my point is that if you're watching this, this is a very important test for me because this is how I'm going to force myself to start creating content again by literally just turning the camera on and start creating content, aka blabbing. I have some avatars with me to help me. Got little Lammy here. Hello, my name is little Lammy. What do you have to say for yourself, Lammy? I'm a little shy. Yeah, but like, what could you tell me that would encourage me in creating this new content? Well, I think that you just need to speak from the heart. Oh wow, that's really nice, Lammy. What does your heart tell you? I'm a little scared lately. Yep, I think a lot of us are a little scared lately. Hey, look, there are people. There's some friendly, familiar names even, like Banana Envy and Furcant. Hi, how you guys doing? Um, yeah, so this is 4 years, man. 4 years since the last time I streamed. I mean, granted, I've done streams with my friend Kirk, and I've done lots of episodes of the Psychology in Seattle podcast. So I haven't been like hiding in a cave necessarily that you know of, but I have been not making my own content, and it's and there's not like, I mean, there's reasons. There are reasons. Originally, what happened was I was getting all this momentum. I got started, the pandemic started, and I was like, okay, great. I bought all the hardware, I bought all the stuff. Everyone and their mothers was becoming a podcaster. I followed the YouTube instructions. I got lights, I got colored lights. See, like you got colored lights because like it adds dimensions and stuff. And then I thought, all right, this is great. What am I going to talk about? And you know what? I just started talking. I started making episodes. I started making episodes about my life, my past, my childhood. Then I would do these like it's way past your Berto time things where just live streamed where I was just like ad hoc talk, which is very difficult for me. But I'm kidding, obviously. But then I got sick. And when I got sick, I couldn't do it. And then after I got sick, like I got thyroid issues and it was terrible. And but after all that, like even after I wasn't quite like I would have been able to do it, um, I felt very self-conscious. I felt very like out of ideas. And I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do? So I started thinking about all these different channel ideas I wanted to do. And just like nothing seemed right. Part of it is I look at my friend Kirk and he's got this very successful channel, but he built it on top of something that's actually part of his professional life. You know, he is a professional therapist and then he built Psychology in Seattle and I'm a big part of it, but it's his baby. And it makes sense. Like he's a therapist and he built this vision of like, I'm going to do a podcast and then I'm going to do the show. Then there was also some fortuitous things where like during the pandemic, he started reacting to, these reality shows like 90 Day Millionaire, Bachelor, or something or other. And which, by the way, I tried reacting, or at least reacting to his reactions. I can't do it, man. I just can't stomach those programs. It's just so mind numbing because, well, anyways, but you know, different tastes, different strokes for different folks, right? Okay. But you know, he built this thing, and then and it made sense. Like it's those are couples, those are you know, like couples that need therapy, and he's a couples family and couples therapist. So it actually made this beautiful sense that he would react to it and kind of offer his professional thoughts, and it was just like right place, right time. So the thing blew up, and so that feels legit. It doesn't feel contrived, and a lot of the stuff that I kept thinking about just didn't feel right. Now, that said, the original vision I had for my channel, which is what I had started doing, was this like modern day Mr. Rogers kind of vibe where, you know, like I do have little friends that I bring on camera and I talk to them and they help me through thoughts. And, you know, some of them are a little more cute than others. This guy is, kudos if you know what this is from, you know, but, and he doesn't talk. So he's not as helpful to me on camera. Yeah, he doesn't talk. But anyways, and the idea would be like we, you know, we work through things together. I just speak plainly and I don't prepare. I don't have a script, you know, because it's Mr. Rogers had scripts. He had great scripts and I'm different. It's the modern day reality bites, Mr. Rogers. But it made sense to me. And I thought I could do this. But I don't know why, like I got in my head too much. You know, I thought, no one wants to see that. No, it wasn't even that. It was just like I don't have the energy to do this. That was maybe what it was. Then the other idea that I had was I'm gonna make a music channel, and I'm gonna make it because you know I've been recording music. Do you know? Have you heard my songs? I bet you haven't heard my songs. Why haven't you heard my songs? Because I haven't put them out. I put one out, but anyway. So I was thinking, all right, you know, I'll make a music channel. That way, I'll make videos out of my songs and I'll talk about how I make the music, I'll interview folks, I'll talk about the songwriting process, what the songs mean and stuff like that. And so that's still something I want to do, but it takes time. And then the other thing, the last thing, these are all excuses, I admit, but the last thing was the freaking social political situation is just hard to deal with. It's hard to come to grips with what's happening. I realize, like, look, we're spoiled over here, or we have been spoiled in this country, in the U.S. for a long time, which is part of the tragedy. A lot of people in the last n number of years, like, oh, life sucks here, or the world's so terrible here, and it's obviously not. And the rest of the world suffers in way greater amounts. Even just growing up in Colombia in the late '80s, or you know, late '80s mostly, it was horrible. You know, and I was lucky. I was one of the lucky ones. I was, you know, lower middle class. Although in my house we actually had like no money, but still, I had a roof. I had a roof. I had food, and then my mom sent money so I could go to school. So it wasn't. I was not on the streets or anything like that. But there was misery all around, and there were, you know, really bad, violent situations going on. So I saw that. And then I move up here and it's like a freaking paradise by comparison. And to see all these years people start complaining about how terrible everything is. And I'm not like, should we be fighting for less poverty and better health? And of course we should. Yes. But but at the same time, having some sense of perspective, I think, is important. And so what's happened is like, and that spoiled nature has translated into uh, electing what is, some really scary, damaging people. And so that's made it very depressing, to be honest. But very depressing. Thoughts of like, maybe I should move. Maybe I need to just pack up and leave. Or maybe I need to join La Revolucion, but man, that's a thing. So, anyways, yeah, lots of things going on. But then I finally decided, I'm like, all right, all these are just excuses. So today, on a random Sunday, I said, well, I tried yesterday, to be fair. I had a warm up yesterday. I hooked up all the stuff. I turned on the camera. I turned on the equipment. And I turned it all back off. But today, I was just like, and it was hilarious because no one was watching at this point. But when I started the stream, it was like, I don't know if it was working because I hadn't done this in so long. So I started talking and it was like, is this working? So the first like 2 minutes of this thing are totally lame. But, it turned out it was working. Like I tested it on my phone and stuff. So now that I know it's working, I'm just going to start doing it again, which is fine. And this is great. Look, literally right now I have 2 viewers. 3. Sorry, it just popped up to 3. But this is okay because what I found, I already knew this from before. I'm not doing this to, well, I'm a narcissist. So certainly if like a billion people were saying like, you're so great, Umberto, I was like, well, that feeds my inner narcissist. But at the same time, the inner selfish person in me does this for a deeper personal reason, which is I just need to do this. I need to talk. Talking is how I process things. Talking is how I think through things. Talking gives me company. When I was an only child for the longest time, I have a half brother and I love him more than even just like a real full brother. Like we're as close as can be. But we didn't live together till I was 15. And so I lived by myself in a house in Bogota in a street that was not, there were no kids around. Like I had no kid friends nearby. I had friends at school, but I had no kid friends around. So I was really like an only kid. So I had to entertain myself a lot and playing Legos, watching TV. And I'm not saying I talked to myself, but I did do a lot of things. Like I sang all the time, which is a form of talking to yourself. I made little recordings and, I programmed. And then, of course, I did talk to my dad quite a bit. But so talking is therapy for me. And so this is selfishly my therapy. This is the way this is my confessions. But so these are live streams anyways. And then the other part, what I want to do with the music stuff is that one is, I mean, it's also selfish. It's also for me. Who are we kidding? But that one's supposed to be also a little more interesting if you happen to be into music. So it's not going to be for everyone. It's not going to be in this channel. I created a brand new channel. It's called Research Car, which if you know, well, I'll talk about it in that channel and I'll put a link here or something. I'll promo it in some way, but that's going to be its own thing. On this channel, I'm just going to start doing what I was doing before. It's the modern day Mr. Rogers situation. I'm going to talk through things that are affecting me, things that might be affecting others, things about my past, things about my future or whatever. I don't know what this one is. This one doesn't have a voice. It could like, I'm gonna make magic for it, but it doesn't really. This is just not a thing. Oh, and I have a hammer. This is my mom's hammer. She lent it. I do owe her this hammer back, and it's like one of these little mini court hammers, like, attention in the court. What do judges say? But I think it's good. It's emblematic because there's something about, a courtroom and order and justice where it's done fairly, where the hammer symbolizes things like, attention. Everyone's got to pay attention. Everyone's got to shut up for a second. And we're going to actually be serious. We're going to be adults. Also, when you're making a decision, like I've made a decision. Here's my order. Here's my command. So the hammer symbolizes that for me. And it's going to be a little bit of an avatar, I guess. Or what's the other thing There's a word I'm looking for. Not a sigil. Anyways, it's a symbol for me. And so this is going to symbolize the ability to make decisions, both the micro decisions and the macro decisions. The micro decisions are things like, I'm going to record today, right? And also, if I'm thinking through a problem, I could be like, you know what? I'm going to make up my mind on this. I'm going to die. And then the macro decisions might be like, where is my life headed? Where is our life headed? And so this hammer is hopefully going to help steer me and maybe whoever listens through as well. So I have some little things that I'll invoke here. And then, like I said, we'll have fun because, I used to do this where I'll pull out like some trinket. Like, for example, look at this. I have Psychology in Seattle merch. It's self-serving. But this is my friend. If you don't know, which I think if you're one of the viewers, I'm sure you know, because why else would you be here? But anyways, this is my friend Kirk right there. It's a little blurry, but that's Kirk. It's Kirk. We do the Psychology in Seattle podcast, and that's him. Anyways, and we got this merch, and I have it here on my shelf to remind me of our friendship and our project together. That's cool. I have a lot of stuff here. I'll bring it out from time to time. I also have this interesting little thing in here. This is a hard drive. It's incredible, by the way, that this is a hard drive. I don't know how old you guys are, but man, this is not what hard drives looked like. First of all, back in the 80s, like no one had a hard drive. Like you had floppy disks and whatever fit in the floppy disk that you would load onto the computer's RAM. That's what the computer was running. You didn't have a hard drive. If you did have a hard drive, you had like this external beast of a thing that was like, I don't know, it was big. It was a big block. Nowadays, this thing, I think this is like, I don't know, like a terabyte or something. It's some ungodly amount of memory in here. But you know what this contains? This contains the backup of my music projects, the ones I've been recording. They're like piano and singing. So this is pretty cool. And it's right here. So yeah, lots of stuff. I'm going to keep it sort of short today. I guess I'm going to talk about one last thing. And it's that like I said, this is a difficult time. We have a lot of turmoil happening in this country, which is going to cause waves and repercussions globally. And I'm not kidding. There might be a chance I end up not being able to live in this country because for example, I'm not going to support invading other countries. Like that's ridiculous. But I guess we're going to cross that bridge. What I was going to say though is, how does one keep one's composure, mind, interest level throughout times like these? I'm asking. It's a rhetorical question. I have some ideas, but I don't have the answer. I will say, if you have friends and family, I think that helps. Certainly helps me, because then it's not just like you against the world. Like there's others, for better or for worse. Like there's other people. But other than that, I feel like it goes back to, I've talked about this before. There's this philosophy I have about the universe. I used to be religious when I was young, or specifically religious. Like I was raised Catholic, and then eventually I became just Christian, and then eventually I became not Christian because I don't know, I read enough to think, these are human-made stories, and I don't know, they don't make as much sense to me anymore. And plus, modern Christians, I don't think like really follow the thing that I liked about it in the first place, or a lot of them don't. But anyways, I do have a philosophy, which is that I believe that the universe is has like, you can make a choice between creation and, like, let's say creating, generating, maintaining, sustaining, and destruction and elimination and like zero, right? Going to like the nothing. And it's a choice we make little by little. It's not like only one day we make this choice. We make this choice every single day in micro and macro ways. Micro ways can be simply things like, I'm not going to work on bettering myself today, or I'm pissed off, so I'm going to break this glass, or I'm going to insult that person, or I'm going to abuse this relative, or whatever it is that we're going to do that's destructive. And you could do it at the macro scale by, especially the more power you attain in this world, you can really be quite destructive. You could destroy whole civilizations, let alone the world, possibly. And the universe already has plenty of destruction, right? So I just have this thing, which is like, hey, we can make a decision. And I don't have proof. Like, this is all on faith. I take it on faith that it's better to aim my micro and macro actions towards creation and sustaining the universe, then not. I can't prove it to you. It's just what I believe. And therefore, that's what I try to do, right? So during these times, I keep reminding myself of that and thinking, well, I'm seeing a lot of evidence or a lot of examples against what I believe, but I need to continue to believe what I believe. And so therefore, every action I make and I take, I'm going to try to keep making those actions that tend toward creation, sustaining, and the ones instead of the zeros. And that's the best I can do. So, all right. Well, it was very nice talking to you guys. Actually, I'm gonna like. Oh my gosh, Junie is here. Oh, Junie, I watched your live stream, as you know, because I commented not too long ago. It was really fun. You make just like some amazing content. Let's see. If you need to flee, else. Oh, I got some offers to flee to other countries and be hidden in the Underground Railroad, which would be amazing. Junie appreciates my philosophy. Banana Envy. She was loving the idea. I think, did you love the idea of the Mr. Rogers type thing? I'm guessing that's what you were talking about. All right. Yeah. So man, it was so great to see. I honestly didn't expect a single viewer. I was very happy to see that some showed up. So thank you. I am back. I will be doing some more videos and stuff. I really appreciate it. I love all you guys. And I'll talk to you soon. And now it's going to get awkward because I'm going to try to turn this off. But